mitochondria, and the muscle. So I'm thinking about this, now I can come up with a formula, a complex algorithm to calculate this math and make it work. Based on the tissue, the amount of tissue we're treating, the density of it, the impedance of it, and also the square surface millimeter of the probe. That's important because the more metal you have touching the skin, that changes the math formula, right? You can think about it. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. The more surface area, the bigger you have, the more current you have going to more of the tissues. It's common sense. But that formula needs to be calculated because the different size applicators you have give you different effects of the transfer of the current. Whether you use gloves, probes, right? The gloves are different than the probes. They transfer the current differently because you have more surface area being treated, right? So there's tools out there that can measure this impedance, this type of hydration. And they use impedance to measure this hydration. So now that I know that hydration doesn't conduct, that current doesn't conduct when we're dehydrated, and it does conduct when we are, now I can measure that and use that measurement using impedance analysis to come up with an algorithm to deliver the proper current and signal to the destination tissues. That make sense? Did I say anything too crazy? Okay. There are tools that do that. You can buy this. They're in the market. This is called an impedance skin hydration analysis. It gives you what we call a score, a value. So I talked to some physicians. He says, yeah, Tony, the hydration is so important that I use these analyzers to analyze how dehydrated we are, and we can actually help people become more healthy, both for medical conditions and age management. So this device measures it. It's called a skin impedance hydration analysis using skin resistance. So the doctor said, it gives you a score from 3 to 13. That's your score. 3 means you're so dehydrated you're dead. At 3, you're dead. Cancer is 4. I'm a 6. because I have myself measured. 13 is optimal. But to be at 13, you know, I asked him, he says, well, everybody is dehydrated to some extent. Okay? We all are to some point. So knowing this, when you go to when your clients come to you, if you find out that they're so dehydrated, you can tell them that the microcurrent is going to take, they might take a little bit more of a couple more treatments than someone who isn't. So when someone comes to you and they're expecting to get that result, after you analyze their skin, you may have to tell them, well, you might need a series or 2, right? Because they're so dehydrated, and the microcurrent is going to more naturally bring that hydration level up to a point where they're going to be more acclimated to it, and they're going to start seeing some really crazy good results. Some people walking in the door, like Pam, she travels with a microcurrent machine in her hotel everywhere she goes. She won't leave home without it, right? She brought it here, and she used it last night. So she's super hydrated, her skin is really healthy, so she responds really well because she's biologically optimal in the tissues in the skin, right? Is that good to say? So knowing this, you can actually analyze your clients and give them the proper goals and expectations. So when they come to you, it doesn't matter who it is. You know you can help them. You know you can fix them. I've been doing this business for a long time. And I've learned this. I said, talk to the best of the best and the not so best of the best. And I found out, well, why are they doing so well? How are these people doing so great? Why is that esthetician making $250,000 a year? A customer doesn't walk out the door unless they pay her $1,000 a treatment. Why? And how does that happen? And it all boils down to one thing: confidence, knowledge, education, power. 4 things, right?
Yeah.
Because if you don't have that knowledge of what you guys are doing in that room, everything from the products you carry, you know your products, you know your equipment, you're going to increase your bottom line revenue, is guaranteed. I've been doing this, and I asked them, and this is why they're. So part of what, everything you're doing here, and as a company, we provide support, which includes that also, training, business development, consulting, coaching, and all of that is what's gonna be successful. I'll let Pam talk more about that. I think I'm almost at the end.
Can I ask a question with the hydration levels and, you know, the increase in ATP? Is that what causes healing when we're using microcurrent as a healing modality?
Yes, the current isn't doing the healing. The current is causing these chain reaction effects to heal. Because if that ATP pump in that video I showed you just so happened to stop, then we got problems. We got severe problems. And you're not gonna heal. You're not gonna do a lot of things. So it's really important. And that's the doctors that I talked to when I created all this stuff. Hydration and impedance analysis is important. So, and that's kind of what we do when we build machines. They work off of impedance validation and calculate perfect levels based on the skin type and density at the time of your treatment, not just some magical number that I pulled out of a hat. So I'm not giving any information here that I'm making up or creating any made up words. These are all things you guys know about. And we're just using this science to really take it to the next level. So, and there's a lot of questions that maybe customers or you guys might ask about microcurrent. Maybe this is a good time I can help answer that you probably heard out in the field.
So in all, the whole point of like the microcurrent is to speed up the production and like the function of the cells, but is it also like that plumping factor? Is that just like the water being brought into the cells, or is that like ATP, then like what is the
Yes,
that plumps?
the plumping factor is that's part of it.
Okay.
But there's so much more too, because now we're starting to create, it's called the cellular respiration process. Now all that's starting to work.
Okay.
It's like you go to a nice car, you bought a brand new car, and you go to start it up in the morning in this cold Chicago weather, and it's dead. You know you just got a brand new car, it's full of gas, but what happened? It's missing something to start up that battery. We jump started with the jumpers, and all of a sudden everything starts working and running.
Okay.
It's the same thing what we're doing with microcurrent. We're jump starting, creating the cellular respiration process to kick in and cause all the natural biological effects to help with the age management and the processes for biologically healthy tissues and skin.
It's a jump start
It's
for
a
your
jump
body's
start.
natural function.
Right.
Okay.
So that's what it's doing. Because the electrical energy isn't automatically healing.
Yeah.
It's causing a natural chain of reaction of events in a natural way to happen. That's what it's doing. Cool.
Her question is something that we just saw yesterday when that esthetician sent us a picture, the before and after, and the volume increase in her face.
Right.
Have you got that?
I do. That's gonna be the next slide.
Okay.
So, what's a perfect microcurrent system? You have to know, you have to read the skin density, because you guys are all different. If I were to put a meter on every single one of you, we'd all come up with a different number. Okay? So it's important to understand the canvas you're working on. It's important that the machine can be dynamically intelligent, and I didn't make the word up. Dynamic intelligent is reference to a smart computer that can think. It's a machine that can think based on the data that it sees. That's what dynamic intelligence means. So we want a system that's dynamically intelligent, that comes up with the perfect current based on an algorithm. It's a math formula. And the math formula uses this. The right signal with the right power density, and this is the formula based on the surface area of the probe and the skin density. the phase charge is measured in coulombs based on the impedance